What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Luna Park, Coney Island. We're here for a very exciting day. It is the last stop on our New York trip as part of ACE's Preservation Con, and it was a really good time. I say was because it is now the end of our day. For whatever reason, we forgot to film an intro.
So hold on, let me act this out. I've never ridden the Cyclone before. I lived in New Jersey my entire life, and somehow for 27 years this has evaded me. Never done it before.
Wow. And we're gonna show you her first time, and it's my first time in 10 years, and Tanner's never been here either.
I haven't either, even though I've got every credit here now.
But just make pretend. And let's go.
All right, they're doing the morning test runs for the Cyclone. Here's our line. Stretching all the way down there and then filling in this queue over here.
So when I came in 2011, this was before GCI retracted. It was so rough and intense that it was actually kind of fun. It was so janky, and the hills were shaped like Magnum hills, so it would just like have pops of ejector going up the hill, down the hill. It was crazy. And then when GCI retracted, it became more re-rideable, which is probably better for the structure and the riders themselves, but it's not as intense as it used to be. But that was back in 2016.
So that was the last time you rode it?
Yeah.
Well, you have me beat with 2013, so.
Okay.
If you are just paying to ride the Cyclone, it is 10 credits. Not to be confused with 10 coaster credits. I don't know, did you
get 10 credits?
You get 10 credits? Did you count as 10?
I counted it as 20 since I rode it in 2 different versions.
Oh yeah, good point, yeah. We're almost into the station. We will not be able to ride in the first or last car by choice. It'll just be luck of the draw, but I mean, it is the ERT, so hopefully we'll get several laps on this thing. I was doing my research, looking back, and realized that I only ever rode this one time back in 2013, so.
You barely have me beat.
Barely have you beat. Hey, but I still ridden it, and you have not.
Everyone makes fun of me about the Silver Dollar City thing, but I feel like this is 1,000 times worse.
Like, how far away was this from your house? 2 hours, maybe? Wow.
I don't know why. I think New York, like, I could go into the city because I could take like trains and stuff, but coming here like stressed me out.
So as you can see, they're literally sitting on what can only be described as couches. There's no seat divider, and it's a padded lap bar too. All right, the Cyclone!
That is so
Woo!
fun.
The original Cyclone! We've done so many Cyclone layouts at this point, but this one is like where it all started.
Well, I think what makes this so cool is like there's so many old roller coasters that like the thing that makes them awesome is that they're old. And usually the layout is kind of like, oh, it doesn't really do much, but it's old and it's cool. This actually has like crazy airtime and stuff, like
Yeah.
and crazy laterals. I'm not gonna lie, you were crushing me. I think I'm gonna ride alone next time.
Yeah, when you ride alone, so Jeremy, you rode by yourself, so you kind of go side to side.
Yeah,
right?
it was not jerky, but it was really strong laterals to the point where you just went side to side and you hit the car, and it actually added to like the enjoyment of it. It was really fun.
Yeah, so we took up the back car. So this is actually interesting. The back cars here are 4 bench across, or sorry, not across, but like wide, whatever.
rows.
4 rows. That's what I'm trying to say. So as opposed to the usual 3, which was interesting. I mean, but you know, there's a lot of people who are like single riding and stuff. So I think that we definitely got some good air, like going over some of the hills.
Yeah, dude, that's like standing airtime. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And those are the most comfortable trains. Like,
Oh yeah.
like sitting on a couch.
Literally, yeah. I mean, just like the cushions, it's so relaxing, you know. Nah, it's a fun one. So we're gonna go again. Maybe try somewhere towards the front. Okay, so Jeremy and I just rode in the back row of the Coney Island Cyclone, and oh my god!
That thing was falling every turn. You were getting slammed to your side.
And
like,
ejected.
Yeah.
And it's really funny. In the last row, there's like a metal bar that is like under your cushion. So like every time you like lift up and then slam back down, your butt like
there was no
it's
padding.
the bar.
It was just a leather thing on a metal bar. You're slamming on top of it nonstop.
I was like, this thing is like crazy. Like each of the hills like send you like eject up. There's one where it like shot you up so much it like hurt. It was like painful.
In unison, we were screaming like,
oh!
at the same time because it just kept pounding.
It was like way surprising. Yeah, that thing, I'm sorry. I know you're a Great America guy, but that beats Viper.
It is. It's running better than Viper right now, Great America. That's true. I'll give it that.
All right, Sarah, so ride 2. So where'd you sit? Because you were on the train after us.
I was in like row 3 maybe, but I was all by my lonesome in the best way possible. What the hell, man? I've never been on a ride or a coaster where I start out in one spot and I go like this involuntarily the whole ride. Like I was like, oh, now I'm in the right seat. Oh, now I'm in the left seat. And it's not like sliding, like you literally are picked up and moved.
So the other ride that's open for our ERT is Tony's Express, which is the newest coaster, but it's all the way down there. So we're now just on the boardwalk. That's the beach. So we started down there. We walked all the way past Deno's. Here's Thunderbolt, and then to the newest attractions here. So we actually just did this at Adventureland, Iowa.
I was gonna say, yeah, but we didn't get to do the, does it have a flume? It does have a flume.
Yep.
We didn't get to do the flume because it's closed.
Tony's Express, which first of all, what a name.
I feel like
Iconic.
it's very New York.
Very New York. It is a step above a kid's coaster, but a step below a family coaster.
It's like right in the middle. It's like a sweet spot.
Yeah, it's very, very tame, much larger layout than what you would typically get of a ride of that size. So, you know, for what it is, it's a lot of fun. I love that it interacts with the water ride.
Yes.
One thing that I think is super interesting is the fact that you have the entrance for both of these attractions literally here on the boardwalk. Like, it's not like in the park. Like, you typically think that like, okay, this is the front entrance, right? Or like one of the entrances, and so there'd be like a bunch of rides back here. The entrance would be like in the park, but it's like, no, you step off the beach, you're on the boardwalk, you get on the ride, then you exit, then you're back on the boardwalk. Like, I don't know, it's just very different from what you typically see. We've now ventured off the boardwalk to the entrance of Phoenix, which is actually at Deno's Wonder Wheel, separate from Luna Park.
I'm like, I feel like we're at Disney, like park hopping all over the place.
Yeah, but it's like, it's weird because Deno's Wonder Wheel is in the middle of Coney Island, so you can see the Cyclone, like a nebula's back there.
It's a very weird setup.
It is, because then on the other side is like Steeplechase and the Volare and Thunderbolt and stuff. So here we go. We're taking a ride on Phoenix here at Deno's Wonder Wheel.
So this thing is like a la Dragonfly or Freedom Flyer. We already rode it, and I'll tell you right now, it is definitely a better layout than Freedom Flyer. It's probably better than Dragon Flyer too.
Yeah,
It's fast, it's got a lot going for it.
It doesn't have a drop. A little bit of a dip right here. Woo! Whoa! Pull some decent forces there.
And it's fast.
Whoa! Whoa! I love how like it banks you so high, like.
Oh my gosh.
It's like the smoothest thing ever.
Oh my gosh.
It's a fun little
Where
ride.
you're like swinging around and you like pop out of your seat a little bit. Little floater.
It's like so graceful and like just something that like literally anyone could enjoy. It's not overly intense or anything. It's just
fun.
have fun, guys.
It's my first one.
Your first one?
Yeah.
All right, well, you should do it at least once. Actually, this was my first one too.
You're probably gonna like it, Tanner.
This was my first one. It was my first one at Elitch Gardens back in 2006.
You rode this at Elitch Gardens?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I rode this 10 years ago, and you know what? I'm good. The last one I rode was Hero, and after that, I'm done. All right. We knew this was coming. Tanner, what do you think of the Volare?
I actually liked it.
Of course you did.
It was really fun. At no point was I in any pain at all. I mean, it's just an awkward, weird ride. I mean, it's not painful. It's just weird. I liked it. I don't know.
Hey guys, enjoy. Goodbye. As we're walking here past Tony's Express, we're heading towards the carousel, which is a little hidden besides the fact that it says carousel here in giant writing. You can't actually really like see the carousel because it's completely enclosed, but it's really old. It's from like the 1930s, but it was relocated. Originally had a home somewhere else, and it opened in like 1907 or something like that. And there's a horse on it that no one can ride because it's like valued at like $500,000, which is like really cool. Yep, that's definitely the odd one out here. Wow. Abraham Lincoln Centennial Horse, 1909. That is a beautiful horse. Holy crap. Jeez, look at all those details.
How can we go all this, beyond, but, very much preserving the history, preserving authenticity, preserving really what made us, in the first place. So proud, blessed, and very thankful. And hope you have a great, great day.
When we were building Phoenix, I didn't know how to build Phoenix. So I went out to Reddit, I talked to Jim. I was watching Coaster Studios. I was on YouTube, and then I reached out to all of you. I reached out to agents and enthusiasts. I was like, hey, what kind of elements can we put here? What do you guys like there? And I listened to you guys, so I want to thank you for helping us build something special.
How the turntables. The rider has become the operator. I'm in charge now.
Hit the green light.
All right.
Please say fun. Take a seat, everyone. Please be efficient. We need to get these riders on board. It's a long line. We gotta keep these dispatches rolling, Maximize our throughput.
In all seriousness though, guys, everyone who's watching this who's a ride op, who's ever been a ride op, we appreciate you so much. What you guys do is like no joke hard work, like temperature, tough guests, just long hours, and I know sometimes pay can be rough. Like, we appreciate you immensely, and it's fun to like take on your job for even just a second.
So we just did a couple more laps there on Phoenix, and I really do enjoy that thing.
I really like Dragonfire, but I don't know which one I like more, because while Dragonfire has a more intense like drop and overbank and then like a helix, Dragonfire then kind of like tames down and turns like a kid's ride. This doesn't.
The second half of Dragonfire is kind of underwhelming.
But there's also nothing quite as intense on this as Dragonfire's first half, so it's like it kind of goes back and forth.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I prefer.
This is a shorter ride, but it keeps the pace the entire time. It doesn't fizzle out.
It also has some airtime moments.
But like when I say that there's nothing as intense as on Dragonfire's, this ride still has some good intensity to it.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Those
like,
overbanks pull some
really
forces.
Good. Like there's a couple of spots where I really felt myself being pushed down in the seat with good positives. There's like a decent amount of airtime in it. It's a good ride, but I don't know which one I'd rather ride.
There was a moment in the front row that I can't remember where on the ride, but you got like kind of like a throwing feeling. It almost felt like we were like stalling a little bit sideways.
It's literally like the perfect family coaster. It's like just enough intensity to it to where it's like not boring. Like I still enjoy riding it, but it's not so intense that like a little kid that's like barely tall enough to ride would like freak out on it.
Look at this. There's some pictures on here from like 1948. Everything about the Wonder Wheel being created, the design. Wow. That's awesome. So I personally do not eat hot dogs. However, as part of this ACE event, you do get a free hot dog from Nathan's. I know, no, not for me. So Sarah's gonna get hers. I'm donating mine to Tanner, and then I'm gonna order some cheese fries so I can at least say I've had Nathan's. Okay, as your resident hot dog hater, the bacon cheese fries are pretty solid. I like them.
Why would you ride this and ride the knots?
This is literally a cage.
I know.
I dig it. I think I like the setup at Disneyland better because you face each other.
But this one's also a lot older.
Only a little.
What? Wow. This is so cool.
The sign back there said that this started construction in 1918.
Like,
that's insane.
Whoa.
Forgot about that already.
I'm not gonna lie, the Wonder Wheel was kind of disappointing for me.
Well, I think if we hadn't done the one at DCA, which is like more aggressive swinging and it's more startling and jolting, you might think differently. But this was literally built in like 1918, like holy crap, like you can't really judge it.
Oh no, it's amazing for like the time period that it was built, and it's like a really cool concept. It's just the swinging is like for the most part pretty gentle, and there's really only like 2 moments like in the course where that actually happens.
I thought it was really
versus
fun,
like
though.
at Disney's California Adventure, it's like a lot more. So
I like it better than a normal Ferris wheel.
I have never done the one at Disney, and I really like that.
All right, well there you go.
I was like, I don't ride Ferris wheels because I think they're boring, but I actually rode that twice.
Spookorama, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's like an indoor dark ride, very classic. But it like, instead of the usual like going through different scenes, it's like one large building. You kind of like meander like this.
And you're facing sideways. It's like really weird. Hey, your first ever roller coaster was a sea serpent, and now here you are, all these years later, still riding sea serpents.
It'll be my first credit and my most recent credit for the next couple minutes.
Like dangling there in the front. Great views of the wheel. Now put your hands up. Oh, these laterals are setting me side to side of my seat. Feels like the Cyclone. Oh. And there we go. Luna Park has certainly added quite a few rides since I've last been here. They've also added random pieces of theming, like this piece of pizza. I also see a giant air race up ahead, like the one at Fiesta, Texas. That's cool. Of course, a Nebula's, because this is a Zamperla showcase park, so they have to have a Nebula's. It's like every Zamperla ride you can possibly think of. It's one of those moments when you think about all of the different theme park executives around the world that have come to Luna Park to see all of the different rides that Zamperla offers in their portfolio, and because of this park, have therefore installed similar rides at their parks. I guarantee you it's happened, and it probably happens more than you think. The teams here at Luna Park are giving us the amazing opportunity to go backstage of the Cyclone. So we're gonna show you guys around. So this right here is the last hill into the brake run. So we're currently standing under the brakes. Hey, look at that. Oh shoot, now we're literally right next to track.
Well, this is cool.
So first turn of the ride right here, and that is the main drop up there. This is super cool, just being all around this.
So in the off season, both of the trains are rolled back here. They're completely taken apart down to the very bare studs. We do all the NDT testing back here, and then everything's put back together and open for another year.
And all this is directly under the layout. You'd have you'd have no idea. So we're now currently under the brakes.
How big a train?
So here on the left is the other side of the station. Here's the turnaround. Something they just told us that is really cool. Most people don't realize that the Cyclone has a mid-course. It's just not on, so that right there is a braking mechanism. But much like the dispatch and actual brakes, they have to do it manually.
There it is. This big old thing.
If they need to stop the train on the mid-course, they'll just pull this lever and it can bring the train to a full stop, which is really, really cool. Look at that. check this out. We're currently looking at the active lift hill for Cyclone in between dispatches. Something they just pointed out is you can see there's a little metal bar right there at the side of the lift hill. That is an installation that actually checks to make sure that all of the lap bars are down. And if for whatever reason one's up, then it will stop the train before it goes through the layout. That was such a cool tour and totally unexpected, but I'm so glad we had that opportunity. Huge thanks to the folks at Luna Park for allowing us to get up close to this icon, you know, like see the parts of it that you don't really get to see, like, and you don't really think about, you know, like the upkeep and the braking mechanisms and everything with the lift chain, like really, really cool. We just did a couple more laps on the Cyclone. Tanner, that was your first time. How'd you like it?
I really like it. It's really fun. I like that the restraints are very minimal, so you just like slide everywhere. Like, yeah. Throughout the whole ride.
That was my first time doing it as a single rider on this trip, and yeah, there's like one hill where like I started on the right side, and then by the end of the hill I was on the left side because like you're rising up, and then it's just whoa, throws you to the side.
Yeah, the laterals on this ride are like pretty good. They're really freaking good.
This ride is bonkers.
You finally did the back row?
I did. It definitely has a little more of a bite to it back there.
Yeah.
It's definitely a little rougher, but it's not like unbearable.
But you know, we did the front row too. And that was a pretty good sensation. Like the airtime is just so different there compared to the back. The back is definitely more aggressive, but the front gives a lot of airtime.
It hits in different spots too.
This boardwalk has a lot different feel now that it's later in the day. There's way more people, a lot of people like with carts out selling stuff, playing loud music. It was like calm this morning.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. Like I said, I grew up in Ocean City, so that like has a much calmer feel to it.
Makes me appreciate Ocean City. That boardwalk is way nicer.
I like the tranquility of it. This is a lot.
All right, so Thunderbolt. That was actually the first time riding it ever, which was like really weird because one, this thing opened like a year after my first visit, so I just barely missed it. But two, that we've been here all day and haven't gotten around to it. It's janky, like it got good pacing and airtime, but like it's definitely got some weird profiling.
I liked it. I had a lot of fun on it. It's really intense. I mean, yeah, it is janky, but I liked it. Like, it's a good kind of janky for me.
Yeah, it's not as bad as I think a lot of people say. What is bad is the trains and the restraints. The restraints is like a giant block on your lap.
People complain about Skyrush Crush, but like
that is worse. It totally is. Yeah. No, I don't like that at all. Another weird thing about this ride, they don't allow you to pick your row, which is not like uncommon here. They have that at the Cyclone, but at least the Cyclone they tell you about it. Here they just assign you to a seat, and if you want to wait for a row, they tell you to exit the line and then try again. You can't just let people pass you. It's really, really bizarre. And like a lot of other Zamperlas, you can't pull down your own restraint. They have to do it for you.
And then they slam it down on you, and you're like, oh my God, my thigh.
Yeah, it's very, very tight. So we went to go do steeplechase. Sarah and I sat in the front row, and it was fun. Tanner, you ran into some issues, and this this blows my mind, and it's like actually,
really,
it's crap.
Bad ripoff, like in all honesty. So when I went and bought my wristband, because I wasn't part of the Ace event, so I didn't get the same wristband they did. I went and bought just the one that like anybody would go buy, and I bought an unlimited rides wristband, and that's what I said to the person at the counter. What I did not know is, first of all, it costs $75, which is very expensive, like even for a park. Like if you went to like Cedar Point, like a one-day ticket does not cost $75. But here's the catch. The wristband only works for 4 hours, and there's like not any signs about that or anything. I just went up to Steeplechase, scanned the wristband, they're like, oh, you're out of time. I'm like, what? So I paid $75 for an unlimited rides wristband that has limits.
And here's the kicker. They don't sell a wristband that is good all day. We said like, is there an unlimited one for all day? They said no. And there's no season pass option. Like,
yeah. So keep that in mind. Luckily, I'd already ridden everything. I was wanting to get a couple more re-rides in because I had some fun on these rides, but I can't. And I'm not spending a bunch of more money to get more rides.
Yeah.
So
That's dumb.
something to keep in mind, I guess.
So as the sun's going down here, Sarah, you finally got your first ride on Thunderbolt. What'd you think?
It's weird because it looks like it'd be really good. And it's really not.
Yeah. The trains are what does it. The trains are just like crap. That's why Zampero's new lightning trains are gonna be like awesome, because even if they have their own set of issues, there's no way they'll be worse than those, you know?
That was just like not a pleasant experience. Like, I wouldn't rewrite it, I don't think.
That ride is an example of like good ideas, but bad execution. And I think Zampero is aware of that. And you know, that's why their newer stuff is a lot better than their older stuff. And it seems fitting that after everything we've done today, we end things off with one more ride on the Coney Island Cyclone. It's not gonna be a night ride, but it'll be a sunset ride.
It's close enough.
It is close enough. Station looks so nice and night. Look at the lights. That is classic. And that is how you end out a great day. This thing is freaking awesome.
I
So
love
good.
it. I loved it.
Yeah, like, okay, so we sat towards the back again. So these two sat together. I sat by myself. Dude, I'm telling you, single ride is the way to do this. Like, you just slide around on the couch because of the laterals. It's hilarious.
And then in my case, you get crushed by Tanner.
Yeah, watch
In my case, you just have fun and watch Sarah suffer.
Yeah, if you're the second person to board the row, then be prepared. You're going to get crushed on most of the turns. But the airtime is awesome. There's one hill like back there that, like, oh my gosh, like it is so sharp.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, this thing is iconic, it is old, and it's still kicking.
I know, I wish I knew what it was like before GCI. Like came in, like if it had that much airtime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jeremy said it had more.
It had more?
That's what he said.
I don't know.
I mean, it's really rare that you find like a wood coaster that's like super, super old like this, but it's actually good.
Yeah, that's
Like,
not
a lot
just
of
charming
them are-
because it's
yeah,
old.
Yeah.
I think about like Rouge Shibanen's another great example, or like Jackrabbit for that one single moment. The rest of it's like eh.
Yeah, but
like,
this has like a bunch of crazy moments.
Like
yes.
Dragon Coaster we rode, it's super old, but it didn't really do anything.
It has like one
This
good
is,
moment,
like,
yeah.
Old, but it still kicks ass. Sorry,
Yeah.
not Coast Studios approved.
It's Sarah approved, you're fine.
Yeah, come out here to Coney Island, experience the Cyclone as well as the other attractions here, but like this is the reason to come out
Deno's.
here. And
That was
Deno's.
so fun.
Yeah, we had a blast there. Phoenix is a lot of fun. I would probably say that's the second best right here besides the Cyclone.
I don't know, I didn't get to ride the Tickler.
Well, yeah, the Tickler was having some problems today. But
Top Thrill 2.
Hey. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to stay tuned for more here at Coaster Studios, and we'll see you next time.